Welcome everyone to Module 4 of the Capstone course. This is a brief overview video. Since you should know the structure by now, we're going to jump right into the Module 4 content. First of all, make sure you are reviewing the Module 4 course content, especially the key financial ratios within the Module 4 content folder. Next, we have the Chapter 2 SmartBook assignment. Next, we have the course participation and collaboration, which is going to be discussion board. For step 1, you're going to review several of the videos below. In step 2, you're going to create an initial post within the discussion board. Step 2, you're going to create an initial post within the discussion board to provide a response to the following questions, such as what area of collaboration do you feel that you need to improve on the most? What was your biggest takeaway from the videos? So on and so forth. And then step 3, of course, once you create your initial post, you must make a comment on at least 2 other posts. That's what's been missing in the past, where some students are only replying to 1, not 2 other students. Keep in mind, you must reply to at least 2 students. Next, we have the Chapter 2 quiz. Next, we have the Globus Simulation Module 4 report. This is different. This is something new. You have not generated any reports up to this point. So you're going to want to actually create a report responding to the questions below within the different areas, such as where are we now, where do we want to go, how are we going to get there. Keep in mind the report should not be Q&A, meaning that you should not type out the question and then type up your response. It should be a report addressing all these questions. This is a team assignment, so everyone within a team should be participating. One of the biggest questions I have is the very first topic, where are we now? Everyone says, well, we're starting all over with the true year 6. We're all at the same point. That's true, so you need to rely on your experience within the practice rounds to answer these first questions. I would definitely want you to kind of analyze what you have done in the past. And then, of course, the next area is where do you want to go and how are you going to get there? If you put in effort into these reports, it will really help assist you with your strategy within the simulation. Next, we have the Globus Simulation Year 6 decisions. Clearly, you know how to make decisions by now. And if you say, well, why do you put that last? If I was you, I would actually generate the report first and then make my decisions, because the report is going to force you to come up with a strategy for year 6. If you just make your decisions and then do the report, what are you basing your decisions on? The report is really going to help you focus. So that's why I would say do the decisions last. Now, with that said, you can do them any which way you want to. It's just, this would be my method for success if I was you. Now let's go ahead and look at the outcome for the Globus Simulation Practice Year 7. Okay, here is the Year 7 scoreboard. I see something that I have never seen before. Company I jumped 62 points in 1 year. I've never seen that before, so I beyond commend Company I. That is simply amazing. Company D, they moved up 7, so they're second place. So great job too. Company E, they only dropped 4. Still in the top 3 though. Company C, they dropped 10. Company A gained 59. Then again, I've never even seen a 59 gain within 1 year. So Company A and Company I, fantastic. B, you gained 2. G, you only dropped 11. H, you dropped 11, which wouldn't be concerned about that, because depending on your decisions, that can cause a decrease in any given year, and 11 is not that bad. But Company J and Company F, who dropped 47, that's a big deal. So luckily that was just a practice rounds, where I'd be highly concerned about Company F and J with a decrease of 47. So let's go ahead and take a look at the game to date scoreboard. So the game to date for, practice year 7. So the practice rounds technically, so Team E won practice rounds at an overall score of 104. Team D came in second at 101, C at 99, I at 96. Then again, they tremendous increase for I, B at 80, A at 79, so on and so forth. Then again, highly concerned about company J because their overall game-to-date score was 27. Company F at least got 57, so they're somewhat close to company H at 71. But company J, hopefully you learn from your mistakes from the practice rounds. Now, if you're saying, well, I don't know what the investor expectation score, invest in industry, and weighted average, bonus points, and overall GTD score, what that all means. Well, if you scroll to the bottom here, it explains it to you, and obviously it's in the manual as well. So make sure you understand how you're being judged within the simulation. It seems like most of you have it under control. If you would say, well, where's that cutoff point that the teams I would be concerned about? You know, if you're in the 70s or above, you're doing okay. You'll be all right. Team F and especially Team J, those are the two I would have deep concerns with right now. But then again, let's see what happens after the true year 6, and then I'll absolutely point out within the video of any concerns. So now if we dig a little bit deeper, if we look at earnings per share and return on equity and stock price, earnings per share for year 7 was company I. Then again, not surprising, they had the biggest jump in year 7. They were best in industry. But as you can see, only 2 other teams even met expectations, which was D and E. So that's surprising. Return on equity, you have teams A, C, D, E, and I all meeting expectation, with company I being best in industry. Stock price, we have A, C, D, E, and I again meeting expectations, with company I being best in industry. So you clearly can see company I figured it out for year 7. So let's go ahead and move on to the credit rating and image rating. Credit rating, it looks like everyone is either A or B, which is fantastic, except J. And of course, J is the one I have the biggest concern with. So C minus is definitely not acceptable. It's not going to get you anywhere within the true years that we're starting this week. So you need to dig more into that manual and figure this out, and dig into the reports. Image rating, we have company A, B, D, E, and G, and I all meeting expectations. As you can see, A and D tied for the best in industry. Goes to show you, company I is not the best in image rating, but they won year 7. So I mentioned this before, you don't always have to be the best, and you don't always have to meet expectations to still have the best overall score. So now if I dive in real quickly into the comparative competitive efforts reports, and if I just glance at North America, let's see what's going on. Okay, I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. So the average price of the cameras is $363. And we can see F has a price of 1,000. Okay, so that's a standout. And if we look across the PQ rating and see if they should even have a price of 1,000, they don't have the best PQ rating. It looks like actually I has the best PQ rating, and they're selling at 315. So you would say, well, why would they try to sell it for 1,000? Well, that's a great question for that company to figure out why they would sell at 1,000, because they only have 1% of the market share. Okay, and then if you can look at Team I, who has PQ rating 5.4, they have 13.6 share, which is almost the largest. The largest actually goes to B. They're selling it a little bit cheaper, but the PQ rating is not as high. So that's what you all have to figure out. So company J, who I've been picking on, they're selling at 500 with a PQ rating of 3.8. So they are tied with the lowest PQ rating, and they are more than double what company H is selling it for, which is 225. So go fish there. I don't understand why you would try to sell your product more than double with the same PQ rating as someone selling for 225. So next we have the drone segment. Average is 1,400. Then again, you look at company J, they're selling for $2,000 and their PQ rating is 4.3. So let's look for someone else who has 4.3, which A, B, and C all do. They're selling it for $1,100, $1,140, $1,245. So why would you buy one for $2,000 at a PQ rating of 4.3 when I could buy it at $1,100 with the same PQ rating? All right. Now they might say there's a little bit of difference of look at number of models. I don't think that's going to justify a price of $2,000 though. They only have a 6.6 market share, but Team A, who has the same PQ rating, has a 13.2 market share, which is the highest market share for the drones. So that's what Team J really needs to start digging in. The coming weeks, I'm not going to continue to go through the data and give away everyone else's strategy. That's not fair. But I at least wanted to point out in the practice rounds. This concludes the video. As always, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Have a great week.